Okay, welcome to Burning Questions. This is week 2. I'm sitting next to Ryan Buckley right here. What's going on, man?
Jack, I think might be the first time we've ever done a video production of Burning Questions or anything else we've done. So I'm excited. This is a good new fresh start.
I'm pretty excited too because I've never been on the video side of things for something like this. So
Welcome.
This is something that's thank you, I appreciate it.
Welcome.
But yes, so what do we got going this week?
Well, I think the biggest news that's spreading around not even spreading around campus, but spreading around Indiana and making its way back down to campus.
Spreading around the country.
Our Division II National Championship, Florida Southern College Mocs basketball.
We're national champs, everyone.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
But the games were awesome. I don't know if I'm sure you watched games in Indiana.
Yes.
I'm sure everybody else probably watched them.
Yep.
That final game, I could not get over the start to that championship game. Was it 7 for 7 behind the arc?
It was 7 for 7 from 3. And then we actually have, believe it or not, we have a national champion on this week. We got Dylan Travis, who scored 15 points in the last 4 minutes.
Lit up the end of that game.
He was really the guy who put the game away for us. So here's a little bit of our clip with me personally and talking to a national champion, Dylan Travis. This is Burning Questions, and we are back with a national champion, Dylan Travis, from the men's basketball team. How are we doing today, Dylan?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Well, you guys just got back from Indiana to almost a party. How was that for you guys coming back from that?
It was awesome. It was a crazy, couple days coming back from the airport from Tampa to here, seeing all the support we get from the community and the students here. It really does make you feel good, and it's a dream come true to win the championship. It was an awesome experience.
You scored 15 points in the last 4 minutes to finish off that national championship. How does that feel being such a big part of that?
It was awesome. That's just a testimony to all the hard work paying off. I've been putting a lot of work on my 3-point shot and just my all around game, and it's nice to have it pay off there in the championship on in the big lights on CBS. So it definitely does feel good, and it feels good to chip in and do my part to help the team win the championship.
Like you said, it has been a big journey for you coming from JUCO to Florida. That was pretty much the point of coming to Florida for you, was to win a national championship. How does that feel to finally be able to accomplish that?
Yeah, it feels awesome. I mean, it's been quite a journey. My freshman year, I went to NEI school in Nebraska. And I just didn't like it there, so then I went JUCO this past year, had a good year there, and that got me down here. And that's the reason I came down here, the tradition and everything. I wanted to be a part of a winning program, and you can't beat Florida, the weather, so, it's awesome to be down here. It's awesome to win, and, hopefully we can just keep it going.
Looking towards next year, you did come off the bench this year, but it definitely looks like you'll be a starter next year, coming back with Mike and Tyler, and we do have some players coming back next year. Kind of looking towards next year, what are some things you're looking forward to? I'm
looking forward to doing this all over again. Honestly, I know it's hard to repeat, especially with losing these 5 seniors because they meant so much to this program. But we got me, Neek, and Mike coming back. We just signed this kid Sheldon out of a JUCO in Buffalo.
Okay.
So we got some good guys coming in, and I think the sky's the limit still for us. I know people are counting us out. I know there's some coaches in the Sunshine State Conference that have already said that this year was Florida Southern's the year, now it's downhill from here or whatever. Mm-hmm. But that's going to happen. People are going to say that. We already know that. But we're just going to stick together, and hopefully we can do this all over again.
Winning a national championship with these guys, with guys like TK and Tylo and Bubby, how is that for you? It's a great team.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, since day one, I've never been a part of a team that has clicked this much.
Yeah.
And it's awesome playing with those guys. Kevin, it's not a lot that you get to play with a guy that, who knows, he might be in the NBA one day. I know he's going to go make probably 6 digits overseas or whatever it is. So it's awesome playing with guys like that. You learn a lot from him, honestly, and TK is such a great leader. I know he's going to be successful. All those guys will be. So I just learned a lot from him. I just try to soak in as much as possible from this year.
Kind of from this year, what is the biggest thing that you learned from playing basketball here?
Honestly, I think the biggest thing I learned was confidence with my shot. Coach Donner kind of taught me that even if you miss your first 3 shots, say I go 0 for 5 in the first half, the next half I'm going to go 5 for 5. And I think first half of the season, if I miss 3 threes in a row or whatever, I'd kind of be done shooting. I just look for the next guy to shoot. That's just kind of me. But second half of the season, he really put that in my brain that if I miss 3 in a row, don't hesitate to keep on shooting. I think that paid off because my first 2 games in the Elite Eight, I mean, I played terrible. I don't even think I made a 3 the first 2 games, and then that second half of the championship game, I think that carried over, and I had that that mindset just to keep on shooting, and it paid off. I think I made 4 threes or whatever you said there, 15 points in 4 minutes. So it definitely pays off.
What was that moment that you really turned it around this year? Because you started off struggling a little bit at the beginning of the year too, and then it kind of turned around. And what was it, the Sweet 16, that you hit a couple threes to really get it going? What really turned it around for you?
I'd probably say when I went through my shooting slump, I kind of quit going in the gym. I don't know what it was. I just – because usually I'm the type of guy that I'm a gym rat. I'm always in there. For like a week or 2 there, like I just wasn't in the gym as much as I usually am.
Okay.
Just having a lot of schoolwork, a lot of other stuff going on. And that's when I went through that shooting slump. I was like, I got to get back to the basics, got to get in the gym more. And that's what I did. And, that's what made it pay off for me at the end.
Kind of like I'll finish this off here, but what is your one piece of advice for someone new coming into the program here?
To these new guys coming in, I would just I'd probably say buy into the tradition here, buy into what Coach Donner says, because obviously what he does works. Look at his track record. The past 6 years have been crazy successful here at Florida Southern, and you just got to buy into the system. It's going to work.
Well, those are some wise words from a national champion. Thanks for joining us today, Dylan. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Well, that was awesome to have Dylan Travis on this week. He's a great guy, definitely making Nebraska proud with that performance in the national championship game. And once again, congrats to our men's basketball team. I know that pretty much everyone on campus knows at least some of the teams, so if you get to see them, give them another congratulations, because that's a big accomplishment.
Talk about lighting up at the end of a game.
Yeah. That was
15
impressive.
points in 4 minutes.
That's impressive.
He was saying, too, before I think you interviewed him, he only had 3 points in the first half.
He had 3 points and finished with 18, but those
That's
last 15
amazing.
points came in the last 4 minutes, which is impressive.
That's remarkable.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's segue on here, and let's talk about something that's spreading around campus now in terms
True.
of voting.
Okay.
And probably the new thing that we're transitioning toward away from our national championship hangover.
Yep.
We're looking toward SGA voting, which is big, and it's always big every year.
True.
We always do different advertisements and stuff like that.
Yep.
There's been a couple to point out, hasn't there?
Yeah, there have been a couple that, they've made their campaigns pretty loudly all over social media. We have Alex Schwak against Joseph Alter, which is a mutual respect. I'm pretty sure they both know each other. So,
Well, and I think, too, at a school like this, you generally know, a lot of the people you're running against, too. And
very true.
the votes are usually pretty close.
Yep.
With the voting, what's interesting is they just try to outdo each other with flyers.
Mm-hmm.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Alter did the one about a vote for Alter's a vote for horticulture.
That was
something
funny.
It was something like
that was
right?
funny. I think we can put it up on the screen here too.
Oh yeah, we'll put it up right now, and
we'll put it up right there.
there you go.
There we go.
Vote for Alter is a vote for horticulture. That is unbelievable.
Yep.
He's probably not reeling in the mass majority of votes in terms of major on campus,
True.
but definitely an interesting campaign tactic.
Yep.
And also, oh my God, I'm blanking on his name. Kyle Chateau has
Yep.
had quite the campaign trail.
Yep.
He had the most interesting man in the world.
Yep.
He started off with, he did the write your issue or whatever you want on him, and you could
Yep.
write like something on him. And the other day he had like a little sale he had going on right by did you see that? It was right by the Bucks
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
So Kyle's really hitting the ground running with this. So it's going to be interesting to see how it ends up. And it's odd because, this time is coupling with end of the year awards.
Yep.
So usually you find out the end of the year awards with your SGA voting and who got what. So what do you think about end of the year awards, Jack? Any say on that?
I think this is more your expertise. I think that it'll be interesting to see for me who wins Chapter President of the Year award.
On the Greek side of things.
On the Greek side of things, because kind of from a neutral perspective, a lot of people know that I'm not personally in a fraternity, but I know a lot of members of fraternities. So it's kind of interesting for me from a neutral perspective to see who everyone else feels like is doing the best job.
It's interesting too because it's one of those awards. So I'll give you an example, like Greek Man of the Year.
Yep.
Right. You can vote. Like the sororities can't vote their individual, someone from their pick, Greek Man of the Year. And the same like that, someone in a fraternity can't vote one of their members, Greek Woman of the Year. It's not possible.
Yeah.
But president, you can.
Mm-hmm.
So generally what happens is like everyone's going to vote for their president.
Mm-hmm.
The difficult part for some fraternities is that depending on when your elections are, you could actually have 2 people, qualified for that.
True.
So, because elections sometimes go by calendar year, and that messes up a lot of your voting because now you have to pick within your fraternity. So there's actually sometimes there'll probably be about 14 or 13 different people probably nominated for this award, and they're going to have to choose one, which is a very, very difficult task. So I think that'll be interesting. I also think another interesting award is like Organization of the Year or New Club of the Year.
I agree.
Of that nature. To me, my favorite organization is Studio Box.
I
love
completely agree
Studio
on that.
Box.
Yep.
What do you think about their first year so far, Jack?
It seems like it's going extremely well. I mean, I went to the One Over Scholars weekend, like we talked about in the last podcast, and it went phenomenally well.
Well, when you have, Tim Pinelli and Charwin and guys like that you always kind of see around campus,
True.
Easy to really get insight on them. But I wanted to get insight from one of the females, Alex Schwach. So I actually got the chance to catch up with her earlier today in the studio. Here's what she had to say. Oh, my word. All right, welcome back, everybody, to Burning Question. And our next guest, Alex Schwach. Alex, thank you so much for being with us. How have you been, beautiful?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Well, thank you for coming. Do you have any idea what we're here to talk to you about today?
I have a little idea.
I think it's about Studio Box
I
and
think
the
so.
roaring success of Studio Box. So tell me, when did Studio Box start? When did it all begin?
Studio Box, the actual group, what it is now, started this semester, actually, in like January. But Jonathan Timpinelli started hosting these things called improv nights last semester. Those were just sort of like improv games, like theater nights, and he was sort of gauging interest for an improv troupe. And so then he contacted some people at the beginning of this semester, and then everyone auditioned, and then we started the troupe.
That's awesome. So how many people did he contact? Like, was it a small group of people, or was it a variety of people? Was it campus-wide?
The whole group is about like 17 members right now, but we're adding some more soon. But basically how that process went was at the end of the improv nights last semester, he would ask people if they were interested, and they would just like write it in a note on his phone. And then he contacted everyone, had auditions, and that's how we all got into the position that we are.
That's awesome. So now, how regularly do you do the shows? Because I know you did a couple during Scholars Weekend, but do you do the shows more frequently? Do you do weekly, monthly?
We're trying to do like weekly or every 2 weeks. Recently, it's been like every week for the past few weeks.
So how do you plan? Is there anything about the show that you want to change from Alex Schwach's point of view?
That's a good question. Honestly, I think I enjoy myself on stage. I have the time of my life, and this is like what I want to do with my life. So I just think it's so much fun. I don't think there's anything that I would change right now.
Now, is there any other, you say this is what you want to do with your life. Is there any other avenue or club on campus that provides, a way for theater or people that want to get into comedy or the arts like this? Any other club that provides an avenue like Studio Box, or is it kind of unique in that sense?
There's really not. It's really unique in that sense, because like what I personally want to do is go into like TV and film, comedy, writing, and improv and stuff like that. And Studio Box is really the only improv troupe on campus other than just like doing theater.
Now I have to ask, of the bunch, who is the funniest? You can say yourself. I think you're the funniest personally.
Oh, stop.
Personally.
That's a tough question because improv is really about supporting your other players. So when you're doing a scene, it's all about supporting who you're with and trying to set them up for jokes, trying to make the other person look good. So it's hard to say like who's the funniest when you're always trying to make someone else look good.
So you're the funniest is what I just heard. I think
Not
that's
at
what
all.
you said. Okay. No, I see where you're coming from though. Now, how you mentioned people can try out for the group, and you're holding tryouts. So when are the next tryouts, and how can people find out more information?
The next tryouts are going to be next semester, actually, because we just got done with our first, second round of tryouts, I guess. And we just added a few more people to the group. But basically just our Facebook and Instagram. Like, social media is how we keep up with people. That's how we let people know about our shows and auditions.
Awesome. Now, does Studio Box plan to go outside of Florida Southern College? Do you plan to do stuff within the Lakeland community as well?
Yes, we do. Actually, this Friday at 8 p.m., we are in downtown Lakeland for First Friday.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah.
You guys are on
exciting
First
stuff.
Friday.
Yeah.
Now, is that with the 17 members in total, or you?
Well, actually, a Trip to Bountiful opens this weekend, so they have a show on Friday night. So all of the members that aren't in that play are going to be there.
Now, why should people watch Studio Box? What is your selling point to get people to go watch Studio Box?
Studio Box is a good time. It's funny, honestly. Like, we have fun doing it, and we like performing for people, and we hope that people like watching us. But honestly, it's just fun to watch and be there, and it's a unique experience because there's nothing else like it on campus.
I'll tell you something amazing. I know Jack and I were talking about this the other day, but it's the only club I can think of that doesn't have food like available or an advertisement. Like, a variety of clubs, they say, oh, come get food or, free beverages. We have all this stuff laid out. The Studio Box is none of that. So what is the secret? Because food wins. What is the secret to getting people to coming to watch Studio Box, or is there a secret?
I think the secret would probably be us just having fun. Like, as a troupe, we are very close, and we try to be very close because that's how you like play well with each other on stage, is knowing each other's humor. So we just have fun with it. For us, it's like just playing games in front of people.
Awesome. Now, when is the next show? Is it going to be the first Friday?
Yeah.
What about after that? Is there another one scheduled for the
I
rest
don't
of the
think we have
semester?
one scheduled yet, but I would assume before the end of the year.
All right, Schwak, one last question.
Yes.
When did you start doing comedy?
I started doing comedy when I auditioned for Studio Box.
Really?
Yes.
That's the first time.
Yeah, improv is very intimidating, and I never wanted anything to do with it. But then Alex Charwin actually encouraged me to audition, and I was like, no, I can't. I'm not funny. And then he was like, do it, and so I did.
Well, good for you. Good for you. And we look forward to seeing you more often at Studio Box. And thank you so much for being with us, taking time out of your day. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Make sure you guys catch out Studio Box as well. Go to First Friday and go root them on as they perform in downtown Lakeland. That's at 8 o'clock, correct?
Yes.
8 o'clock sharp. Yeah, she's such a delight to talk to. She is just wonderful to talk to about this stuff. And she's right. It's a great organization. It'd be great, with those tryouts to see more people get involved and really take this thing and run with it, because it really has just caught fire so quickly.
I completely agree, too. And she's didn't she say that she at some point that she wanted to work for SNL at some point in the future?
Yeah, she said she wanted to do some comedy writing and comedy acting as well. But I think she likes the writing side more after talking with her off camera.
She's incredibly quick, too.
Very quick-witted.
Yeah.
Very quick-witted. Very quick on her toes. So she definitely could have a future in that industry.
I completely agree. Kind of just to close out this first video segment of Burning Questions FSC edition, we kind of just thought that we wanted to do a thing called Heads Up, which is just our thought for the week. If anyone else has things that they want to talk about, put out a thing on Twitter or Facebook. We might actually make a Facebook. I was contemplating making a Facebook for the show.
I think that'd be good.
So we thought that we would just close it with some thoughts for the week. Ryan, what's on your mind right now?
So I did a little project this past week or two.
Okay.
And I looked at study habits.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people this time of the year always complain about studying and the work they have to do, and there's no place to do it, right? The library closes too early, and the 24-hour room is a little sometimes inconvenient for people depending where you're staying. Well, I looked at Tutus.
Okay.
It's a place that's open late. You get your Starbucks. You have all those options, right? And what's the one thing people are going to say about Tutus is it's too loud. Can't get work done. I'm trying to break that myth. So in examining people that did not know, I found out that because there are people around you, you're actually less likely to get as tired as you are in the 24-hour room or the library. So the morale, your environment, and there's studies on this, your environment impacts your attitude.
Yep.
So if your environment is suitable to where people are awake and loud and lively, you're going to be awake and loud and lively. So you actually get more hours. Now, in terms of productivity, in terms of actually completing the work, that's case by case. Just because I say, it's really loud in here, I can't finish my work, doesn't mean you don't have the ability to finish your work.
Yep.
So people complain about that. That's a case by case thing. But that environment is actually suitable for you to stay up late and complete your work.
Okay.
All you have to do is focus on your work. It does not hurt to take a little 5-10 minute break, say hi to people, go grab, quick Starbucks, anything like that. That's actually recommended most times to give your brain a rest. So I actually think of anywhere on campus, that's the most suitable place to get work done. And then one last thing, talking with 2 or 3 students the other day, they actually said they prefer tutus over the library and the 24-hour room. And another 5 people that I told them, like, hey, I was just doing this examination. It was a little study. Just want to get your thoughts on it. They said they never have a problem in tutus.
Okay.
They love it. So I think it's a growing stereotype, but I don't think it's actual truth. So next week I'll try and have a little more data and information on it. But that's what I got so far in my studies.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I that's also to each their own as well.
Absolutely.
So wherever you feel like you can get the most work done, because there's a lot of people with a lot of work right now. I mean, I'm just crazy right now with my work. So kind of what I'm thinking for the week is I'm super excited for the Final Four. I don't know about y'all.
What a relax,
but it's gonna be a great field. We've got Kentucky versus Wisconsin, and we've got Duke versus Michigan State. 4 of the best coaches in basketball right now. I don't know how everyone's bracket's doing, but mine's shot.
Yeah, mine's
right now
done.
Yours isn't very good
Mine
either.
was done. Yeah.
Yeah, so it just shows you that people that actually know a little bit about college basketball usually don't do well this time of year, because crazy stuff always happens. But Dan Comer actually told me that his bracket was in the 98th percentile
That's
at one
amazing.
point, which is insane. But I'm really, really looking forward to that. Between that and the opening of my new website, prephoopsflorida.com, which I'm really, really excited about. I'm just crazy with work, so I'm going to be all over the place trying to find stuff to do. I'll be at Disney at a tournament this weekend, which is a great facility over there at the Wide World of Sports. So that's kind of what's on my mind. I'm super excited for those matchups. Who are your picks right now for that?
Who were my picks or who are my picks?
Well, first, who were your picks?
I had Arizona.
Did you really?
Yeah. When really, I thought Arizona was going to take it. So I was a little shocked. But I actually had Arizona playing Duke.
Okay.
So I'm still in on that side of the bracket right now. But I really thought Arizona would have it. Actually, now it's going to be Duke, Kentucky.
Yeah, that's actually my pick right now as well. If Wisconsin beat Kentucky, would you be shocked?
No, I wouldn't. I really
I'd be
wouldn't
surprised. I wouldn't be shocked.
I think like if you watch that Kentucky Notre Dame game, I mean, Kentucky finds a way.
Yes.
I guess ultimately is what it comes down to.
They're clutch.
They're clutch, and I think they're dominant to an extent. I think they have big guys. I think they're big on the interior end, outside and the back end. But I also think that they have, if they face a good enough offense like Notre Dame, I think,
They're
put up a
really
enough
good
offense,
offensively.
right? And they just couldn't get enough points at the end of the game. And that's what hurt them. And ultimately, that foul hurt them too.
Yep.
So what happens if Kentucky fouls Wisconsin late in the game? I mean, your luck can change. So I think Kentucky last game, I thought they got lucky. I thought they played well. I didn't think they were dominant.
Yeah.
So I don't think they've been a dominant team except for that one game against West Virginia.
I think it should be 2 completely great games.
Yeah.
On the 4th. So
yeah.
it should be a blast. That's in Indianapolis, isn't that? That's in Indianapolis. So I mean where we just were. So that should be great. Look out for those 2 games this weekend. This is episode 2 of Burning Questions. We're really happy. Thanks to Dylan Travis, national champion, and Studio Box Queen Alex Schwach coming on with us this week. That was honestly an honor to have both of them on.
It was wonderful. It's great to have that insight.
As soon as we know who we're going to have on next week on the show, we will let everyone know. Until then, this is Jack Le Guin and Ryan Buckley. Thanks for joining us this week, guys.